Welcome into George Sparky Anderson Field. I'm Ryan Milano, joined alongside Knight Uretsky. We're here to see the Conejo Oaks face off against the Walnut Creek Crawdads, a non-league CCL game. The Walnut Creek Crawdads, they come and travel down from the north. They're on a road trip, making their spree before the north season starts. The starting lineup for the Oaks: T.J. Foreman is going to be batting leadoff. He is playing in the outfield in right. Brendan Bobo at number 2 in the order at first base. Lauren Frank slots in at third. Brendan Durfee, number 24. He is making the start at designated hitter. Anson Arose, the man behind the dish, at the 5 spot. Grant Smith at short. He's batting number 6. Austin Carrillo, number 17, in the 7 spot, playing in left field. JT Naviak, after a 3-hit performance, he sees himself back in the lineup at second base. And Hunter Call, the center fielder for the Conejo Oaks today. The man on the hill for the Oaks, Joseph Wiersma, number 28. He's making his first appearance of the season. He will be the man to get it going for Conejo in their second game of the year. Knight, we saw what the Oaks did in their first game yesterday, a 15-2 beat down, a 15-2 beat down that we saw yesterday. What do we expect coming into today?
Well, I mean, if you're going off of yesterday, you're going to see a lot of runs. I mean, this team scored 15 runs, and those 15 runs really came in the first 6 innings of that game. And really, after that point, they just kind of were shut out. But up until that point, it was a lot of offense. I mean, you got to look and see if this team's bats are going to remain hot. I know watching pregame batting practice, the ball was flying pretty well today. So it'll be interesting to see where the ball will go in the ballpark today. But overall, I think this team's going to have great weather to hit today.
Yeah, it is great weather today. There's a slight breeze out to right field. For the Walnut Creek Crawdads, their leadoff man, Sam Hunt, he's playing center field. Tommy Rover on deck, Trevor Werner in the hole, and we're about to get going. Sam Hunt, the lefty, steps into the batter's box against Joseph Wiersma, the right-handed pitcher. Wiersma, the man out of Ventura College, ready to get things going. First pitch, slapped outside of the third base bag. A fly ball. Frank cannot get to it. The count is 0-1. Wiersma, set on the mound. A swing and a foul tip again, 0-2. Contact made both times by Sam Hunt. He cannot get the ball in play, and now he has to battle back from down 0-2 in the count.
And the pitchers yesterday for the Oaks did pretty good, only allowing the 2 runs. Those 2 runs came off the same hit. It was a 2-run home run. So overall yesterday, the Oaks pitchers did a really good job on the mound yesterday. This is the second group of guys they're throwing based on the order they came to the Oaks. A lot of these guys came throughout the week, and now we're seeing 5 new faces today.
The 0-2 misses high and outside for a ball. Anson Arose behind the dish. And that's a good pitch. I think that's a strong pitch from Wiersma right there, trying to get him to chase outside. He's clearly swinging early. He's made contact with 2 balls so far. He's seen the ball in the zone. Maybe try to get him chase outside. I like that first ball up and away. This time he switches positions, goes inside with a breaking ball for a ball. The count is 2-2. That was his slider. Wiersma brings a 4-pitch selection: fastball, slider, changeup, and cutter.
Yeah, and going with the slider right there, a couple of the first pitches using those faster pitches with the fastball and the cutter.
The 2-2 swung on and cut back into the screen. We'll do 2-2 over again. Wiersma rubs his hand in some dirt on the mound, trying to get some tack on the ball. That's been a big discussion in Major League Baseball over the past few weeks about substances and getting tack and grip on the baseball. Joseph Wiersma uses some natural dirt as his selection of choice. The 2-2 swung on and skied above the screen. The 2-2 again. Hunt has been making contact, just hasn't been able to barrel it up. All 4 strikes have been foul balls. And very early here, we see the umpire needing a substitution of the amount of balls that he has. That's how many that Sam Hunt has fouled off in this at-bat.
Yeah, Hunt's been late on all these ones that he's fouled off.
The 2-2, low. There were some cheers from the Walnut Creek dugout, as that was a great take by Sam Hunt to work the count full. He's battled back from 0-2, the payoff pitch. Cut on and fouled again. You're absolutely right, Knight. He is late, but he's making contact. He's not going down, and that's why he's in the 1 spot. Walnut Creek has had a lot more time than Conejo to figure out their roster. Walnut Creek has played 10 games already, so they know sort of who's the contact hitter, who's the traditional 1 slot. Sam Hunt, someone who definitely battles in the count, someone who deserves to be in that 1 spot.
Already coming up on the 9th pitch of the at-bat. It's been quite a battle.
The full count. Rolled to second base. Naviak is there, throws onto Bobo at first, and the first man is retired for the Crawdads. Sam Hunt, after working the count, ends up going down a 4-3.
Yeah, that's a great start for Wiersma. Obviously comes out, it's a battle of the first at-bat, and you're trying to get that first at-batter no matter what game it is. But it's a 9-pitch at-bat, and to finally get a ground out to end it was a great statement for him on the mound.
And pitch count is not too much of an issue for Dave Solis and his squad, especially his staff, as the first pitch into Tommy Rover fouled right back against the screen. Because there's a lot of pitchers on the disposal for this coaching staff. We saw 5 pitchers yesterday. We're going to see 5 pitchers again today. We'll see 5 more tomorrow. 15 pitchers are active and available right now for the Oaks in the bullpen. The 0-1, a breaking ball that just misses on the outside part of the plate. I actually believe that was a changeup that just missed on the outside part of the plate. So switched speeds, but missed outside, 1-1. The 1-1. Inside for a ball. And right now, we see Wiersma, he's changing up his pitch location. We saw him in the first at-bat, pump the strike zone early, got 2 foul balls. Then he went outside and then back inside, and then continued to pump the zone. This time, he went outside and then back inside, and the 2-1 is cut on and missed 2-2. So, especially when he gets ahead in the count, in this count he was up 0-1, in the last count he was up 0-2, he then tries to get swings and misses outside, inside, changing the pitch location, changing the eye level for the batter. The 2-2. A breaking ball. Hit into play, but off the bat twice. The umpire calls time, and it's just resulting in a foul ball. No harm done. The 2-2 will be done over again.
Yeah, and Wiersma having those 4-pitch selection, it's a lot more unique than the pitchers we saw yesterday. A lot of them yesterday, it was that fastball, changeup, curveball rotation. This time we're going to see a slider and a cutter, which we haven't seen quite yet for the Oaks.
The 2-2 from Wiersma. Low. The count has worked full yet again. That's back-to-back Crawdads hitters that have worked the count full. They're making Joseph Wiersma work early.
Yeah, and this is already going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. So we had a 9-pitch at-bat to start, and now here's the 7th pitch.
The full count. Slapped foul down the third base line. The 3-2 over again. So this one, I believe, is an 8-pitch at-bat headed to the 9th pitch. Last at-bat was a 9-pitch at-bat. So while there has been one out retired and no one's been on base for Wiersma, he's had to work early, especially in terms of his pitch count. The full count. Misses inside. A base on balls for Tommy Rover. And I'll say, those are 2 spectacular at-bats for the Crawdads, especially after going down early in both counts.
No, it definitely is quality at-bats right there. I mean, battling off, you have a 9-pitch at-bat to start. Obviously, you don't get the result you want as you have the ground out to the second baseman. But other than that, you just get a base on balls after an 8-pitch at-bat. Those are 2 quality at-bats to start, like you just said.
Trevor Werner, the left fielder, steps into the box for the Crawdads. The first righty that Wiersma has faced today. First pitch outside for a ball. A Rose slides into the lefty batter's box in order to block that from going back to the screen.
It's interesting to see. The first two batters, when they got their first pitch, it was inside, and those were left-handed hitters. Now going with the righty, you see it go outside for him.
The 1-0. The runner goes. A Rose, his throw to second, not in time. The tag applied by Naviak, but just in there was Tommy Rover. It was a close play. I didn't expect for a Rose to even have a play because a ball in the dirt, he ended up throwing from his knees and made a pretty nice throw on a hop just on the outside part of the second base bag. Preferably you'd want that on the inside part, but Naviak and a Rose, I thought that was a good combination to try to get that tag applied.
Yeah, no, it was a quick throw.
The 2-0, skied into left field. Back is Carrillo. Not quite to the track, makes the grab, and that's 2 down in the inning as Trevor Werner flies out to left.
And that had some high trajectory on that one. You thought maybe you could get out, but the wind just not really carrying it in that direction in the way. It was just too much under that hit, and Carrillo was easily able to make that play.
Seth Dardar, the third baseman, the 4-hole hitter, and another lefty in this Crawdads lineup, steps to the dish. First pitch, cut on to second base. Naviak, the underhand flip to Bobo, and Wiersma is out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on the walk from Tommy Rover. We'll be back for the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to a KDTV production of the Conejo Oaks. Welcome back to Sparky Anderson Field. I'm Ryan Milano, joined by Knight Uretsky here for the bottom of the first inning. Leading off for the Oaks, it's TJ Foreman, the right fielder who steps into the box.
Yeah, TJ Foreman yesterday went 2 for 5 and had a couple of nice runs in that game. He was a threat on the base path.
First pitch to Foreman, bounced just outside of the bag at third. And absolutely, he was in the 7 spot yesterday. Ended up getting on in the third inning, ended up getting on in the 6th inning, and in the 3rd inning, he had a stolen base and then scored. And in the 6th inning as well, he scored. And a lot of those runs scored were due to aggressive base running. He definitely makes the defense work, and a pitcher and catcher make note of him when he's on the base paths. The 0-1, outside for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, and he also affected the way that the game was played. He had a play where he was at first base and he was stealing second base. It brought the second baseman closer to the bag, and the ball was actually hit right to the hole where the second baseman was. So he really just makes an impact all around on the base path.
The 1-1 popped, skied high down the right field line and out of play, 1-2. Foreman, a man out of Austin, PA, and someone who is going to get a lot of run with this Conejo Oaks team. The Oaks, they only have 4 outfielders on the roster right now. So while there is some competition at other positions, the outfield, it's wide open. The 1-2 bounced outside the third base bag again. 1-2 over again. And TJ Foreman, he's trying to fight for a spot at the top of the order. We see Coach Solis make the adjustment and put Foreman at the top of the order after seeing his speed that we saw yesterday and after seeing his ability to get on base. Right now, Foreman is going to try to make that decision from Coach Solis pay off, try to become the regular one-hole hitter, because right now, for the Oaks, it's all about finding where you slot in. The 1-2 fouled off right back against the padding behind home plate. 1-2 over again, fighting in the count is Foreman.
Yeah, already 4 foul balls for Foreman. And so, we saw at the top of the order for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, them fouling off pitches, creating a long at-bat. Already, right now, it's going to be the 6th pitch of the at-bat, so both teams fighting off pitches.
The 1-2 skied high on the infield at second base. Rover is underneath it, makes the grab, and Foreman is retired in F4. Foreman not showing off his speed on the trot back to the dugout. Jogging quite slowly as Brendan Bobo steps to the box. If you're listening to the stream, tell us where you're listening from. Drop it in the chat. Tell us who you're rooting for. We'd love to hear it, and we'd love to communicate with you. As well, if you're listening to the stream, please subscribe to the Conejo Oaks YouTube channel as the first pitch to Bobo. High and outside for a ball. 1-0. Bobo yesterday, I'd say he had a pretty good day. He reached base every single time he stepped up to the plate. The 1-0. Outside for a ball. He singled in the first, doubled in the second, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, singled in the fifth, ended up coming around to score a run, and walked in the sixth, scored a run on that as well as an RBI. A pretty good day if you're Brendan Bobo. The 2-0 catches the outside part of the plate for a strike, 2-1.
The first 3 pitches, they've all been outside so far. A lot of the use of the fastball so far for the pitcher Robinson. And it'll be interesting to note how that trend will continue.
The 2-1 to Bobo. Swung on and missed. A ball in the dirt. And right there, if you're Bobo, he showed that he has the capacity to watch pitches. There were 2 close ones earlier in the at-bat that he watched. He walked yesterday. Right there, in a 1-2 count, or in a 2-1 count rather, now ties it up as the 2-2 in the dirt, and the count is now back and worked full. So even though Bobo swung at a ball in the dirt, he has worked the count back and full, trying to capitalize on making the pitcher work.
And the last 2 pitches have been in the dirt. You saw initially he was going outside. Now he's starting to go low later in the count to Bobo.
The full count. Swung on and sky to right field. Back at the wall is Atkins. He's going to watch it go. Brendan Bobo with a home run. The first home run of the season for Bobo. The first home run of the season for the Oaks. Touch 'em all, Brendan Bobo starts off the scoring in style. The Oaks lead 1-0.
And what a hit that was. You could tell the minute he hit that one, there was such a pop on that bat, and they just carried to right field. And we saw it yesterday. The ball's carrying in that direction. There's a slight breeze. You can see the flag moving in that direction. And the minute that Bobo the pop on that hit, you knew the wind was going to carry it, and it was just a beauty of a home run for him, and to put the Oaks up 1-0.
And there was no doubt about that one. The one hit by the Pirates yesterday, I wasn't sure if it was going to go. That one by Bobo, I knew off the bat. Lauren Frank steps into the box. He's playing third and watches the first ball into the zone for a strike. 0-1. The 0-1, cut on and missed. 0-2 the count. Frank, yesterday, he was a pinch hitter. Pinch hit in the 5th inning. He saw the bases loaded with 2 outs. Ended up hitting a bases-clearing double to left center field. The 0-2 misses high and inside for a ball. 1-2.
Yeah, that pitch right there is a fastball high and in. You're just hoping to get Frank to chase right there. Frank does a good job to stay disciplined and fights to live another day.
The 1-2 in the zone and swung on with no contact. Lauren Frank goes down swinging. On the season, he's 1 for 3 with a double, 3 RBI, but 2 strikeouts to his name.
Yeah, his first hit, he had that bases clearing double, but since then, like you said, the back-to-back strikeouts, and both of those were very, very early strikeouts in that count, got behind early, and that's really what has resulted in his struggle the last 2 plate appearances.
Brendan Durfee steps to the plate, playing the designated hitter today. The left-hander, Durfee, looks at a pitch low for a ball, 1-0. And I would like to mention the last lefty that we saw head to the plate put one about 50 feet past the wall in right field. The 1-0, outside for a ball, 2-0.
Yeah, and like I said, the wind is going in that direction. I know watching BP before the game, I saw a lot of right-handed hitters hitting the ball into that right field way, even to center right field. And so it just seems like the ball is carrying in that direction today.
The 2-0 in the dirt for a ball, 3-0. If you're Brendan Durfee, you're up 3-0 in the count. Is this an automatic take, or are you looking for something in the zone?
Well, you'd think it'd be an automatic take, but there was a couple of times yesterday the Oaks got a 3-0 count, and they were swinging.
3-0. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. Durfee talks to the umpire, wondering, that hit the zone? Yes. Good confirmation from the umpire. Yes, it did hit the zone. Durfee thought it was outside, thought he had a free bag. And he gets a strike called on the 3-1, threw his bat to the dugout, but the count is now full. And I'll tell you, umpires, they don't like that.
No, they do not. And, you know, the strike zone just got a little bit bigger for Durfee. I understand why you'd want to go to first base. You get ahead 3-0, but now down 3-2 and you just throw your bat. I mean, now you're really in some trouble.
The 3-2. Rung him up. Ryan Robinson K's up. Brendan Durfee, back-to-back K's for Robinson. And that was absolutely a consequence of him throwing his bat on the last pitch. But to the top of the second we go. You're listening to Katie Oaks production of the Conejo, Katie TV production of the Conejo Oaks, and we'll be back for the top of the second inning. Welcome back to Sparky Anderson Field, the top of the second. The Crawdads now trailing 1-0 after the home run by Brendan Bobo. Mark Goulart, the designated hitter to lead off the inning in the 5 spot for the Crawdads. Joseph Wiersma remains on the hill after a inning in which he allowed 1 base runner off a batted ball. Now he's facing off against Goulart. The pitch misses low, 1-0.
Yeah, and at the beginning of that inning, he was getting some very long at-bats. The first 2 batters had a 9-pitch at-bat and an 8-pitch at-bat. But to round out the side, he finished with a 3-pitch at-bat to Werner and then a 1-pitch at-bat to Dardar.
The 1-0. Fouled above the screen and over towards the pool off the right field side of Sparky Anderson Field. The count is now 1-1.
Yeah, both pitchers this last inning threw a lot of pitches. Wiersma threw 21 pitches in the last inning. Robinson, for the Crawdads, he threw 22.
The 1-1. Breaking ball in the zone. 1-2.
And you could see that felt really good for Wiersma. Gave a little bit of excitement after getting that call. And now he finds himself ahead, 1-2.
And as a pitcher, if your breaking ball is working, it makes you feel all the confidence in the world. But right there, missed high with an off-speed pitch, 2-2.
Yeah, the breaking ball wasn't really working right there as it ran up and in. But overall, Wiersma has been able to control his pitches fairly well.
The 2-2. Cut on and bounced into the Crawdads dugout.
Yeah,
one of the Crawdads players tried to make a play, wasn't able to do so, and then the ball disappeared into the sea of Crawdads. We'll do 2-2 over again. Wiersma has a pitch fought off by Goulart. And it's 2-2 once again. Both of these teams doing a tremendous job of not going down after getting down in the count. Fighting back, we saw it from Sam Hunt in leadoff for the Crawdads last inning. We saw it for Tommy Rover. He drew a walk. And then we saw it for Foreman for the Oaks on the home half of the inning. The 2-2. Breaking ball outside, trying to get a chase. I like that pitch. That slider had a strong break to it. But Goulart, a good job to hold back, not swing, and work the count full.
Yeah, and as a righty going up against a righty, you're going to try to get them to chase with that slider outside, and he's been trying to do that.
Misses low. Another free bag for the Crawdads, the second walk of the day for Wiersma as Mark Goulart, a leadoff walk to pass the bat to Zach Tejero.
And an 8-pitch at bat to start the game start the second inning for the Crawdads. So already back to where we saw at the top of the first inning. Hunt had a 9-pitch at bat. Rover had an 8-pitch at bat. And now another 8-pitch at bat. The pitches are starting to toll on Wiersma.
And that's why players come and play for the Oaks. It's to improve their game. And for Wiersma, at least in the first 5 batters we've seen, it's improving that out pitch once he gets up in the count. First pitch into Tejero. Inside for a ball, a little bit low as well, 1-0.
Seems like that's been like the 3rd time that Wiersma's thrown that slider inside, running low to begin an at bat. Be interesting to see how that will continue as he faces more batters later on.
The 1-0. Fastball fouled down the left field side and out of play, 1-1.
And actually, as I said that, I just realized this batter's a lefty, and every time I've seen a lefty come up to the plate, it's been that pitch inside as he's tried to run it in. And, you know, that's probably been his strategy. The lefty right here, Tejero, he just fouled another one off, and it's late again. So already we've seen these players battle off pitches, but a lot of the times this has been late pitches, or they've been late hitting the ball, and that's resulted in the foul balls.
A pickoff to first. Goulart dives back in safely. The focus back on Tejero. The 1-1 count. Not going to throw to the plate, going to throw back to first. And we saw this a lot yesterday from Alexander Rivas, the starting pitcher for the Oaks, where once he got a runner on base, he would pick off quite a bit. And it was usually 2 throws over to first, and then he went to the plate. We'll see if Wiersma does the same. The 1-1. He's going to go to the dish, and he's going to miss the zone, 2-1.
Yeah, and like you were guessing yesterday, I remember you said, if I'm right, he's going to throw it to the plate. You were right once again, as after throwing to the plate after going back to first a couple of times. I think maybe it's just to see if Wiersma can pick off or try to improve that picking off move here during the Summer Ball League.
We also saw it from Tobias Plotkin as well, the reliever who came in, as the 2-1 misses on the outside part of the plate. 3-1. We saw it from Tobias Plotkin as well.
Yeah, we did see it from Plotkin as well. Saw it from a couple of guys, but like we said, there wasn't a lot of base runners coming up for Ventura County yesterday, so when they got on there, they were picking them off.
The 3-1.
Excuse me.
Foul down the left field side. The count is worked full. Another full count for the Crawdads.
I meant trying to pick them off, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, throw over to first. A pickoff attempt. This is now in 6 batters, the 4th full count that we're going to see from Joseph Wiersma. The payoff pitch. Cut on and missed. Foul tipped right into the glove of O'Rose. He squeezed it, and Tejero goes down swinging. The first strikeout of the game for Joseph Wiersma.
And it was a great way for Wiersma to get that out. Already 14 pitches through the first 2 batters, but able to get a K right there. It's definitely a big confidence booster for him, especially after being down 3-1.
Tommy Scavone steps into the box. The right-handed batter looks at the first pitch. That misses the zone up above the letters. 1-0. And another pickoff we see, and we saw this too. It was not the first pitch of the at-bat where we saw the pickoff from Wiersma against Tejero. And we see it again here after throwing a ball to Scavone. He picks off yet again, and I'll guess again. I think he's going to pick off one more time. He's not. He goes to the dish and gets a swinging strike, the 1-1 count, and that's the first prediction I've gotten wrong on the season. There will be many more.
You know, Ryan, your credibility was doing so good up until that point, but now I'm just a little disappointed in you, man.
I'm disappointed in myself. The 1-1. He goes to the plate. The runner goes. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Anson Arose throws him down. Mark Goulart caught stealing. And that's 2 down in the inning for the Crawdads, going from a 1-1 count with a runner on first to now a 1-2 count with 2 down in the inning. Behind in the count and no runners on base. Scavone now going to have to battle. Scavone slaps one right to first. Bobo makes the grab on the line. Scavone is retired. A 1-2-3 inning unconventionally, but Joseph Wiersma gets out of the jam. No runs on no hits, no errors with nobody left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks. Welcome back. The bottom of the second inning. Conejo Oaks leading 1-0. Anson Arose, after gunning down a runner trying to steal last inning, heads to the plate as the leadoff man.
Yeah, Anson Arose in the first inning, he tried to get a runner. It was on the left side of the bag. You'd like to be on the right side of the bag. Improved in the top of the second inning and did throw it to the right side of the bag. It was a beautiful throw and able to get the runner out.
The first pitch to Arose, skied high on the infield. The shortstop, Espinoza, underneath it, squeezes it. It almost slipped out of the glove, but Arose trots right back to the dugout on the first pitch. And that is Arose's first at-bat of the season. He starts out the year 0-1, but Laura Seaman, she comments in the chat, attaboy Anson after that time that he gunned the runner down stealing. We agree, attaboy Anson. The first pitch into Grant Smith, the shortstop, misses high and outside. The count 1-0.
Yeah, and Anson Arose, he flies out on his first pitch that he sees. You'd like to see him take more.
Second pitch to Smith, fouled back, 1-1.
But as I was saying, you'd like to see him take more pitches to start the at-bat. I mean, it's your first at-bat in the collegiate summer ball. You haven't played any college ball yet because he's coming straight out of high school to go play at the University of Oregon. You'd like to see him be a little bit more patient as a hitter.
The 1-1 inside for a ball, 2-1, and Smith, he had to raise his arms up above that pitch to avoid getting hit. If he would have kept them in that position, he's wearing one on the elbow and wearing a free pass to first. But it just results in a ball. The count 2-1. Robinson heads to the plate, catches the zone at the knees, 2-2.
Yeah, and Grant Smith yesterday, he went 0 for 4. He did have a hit by pitch, but I think that because of his performance yesterday, he'd like to be in the box a little bit more and try to get his first hit of the season instead of wearing another pitch.
Yesterday, Smith batted in the 5 spot. Today, dropped down just one slot to the 6 spot in the order, and I think that made way for TJ Foreman to go and lead off. As the 2-2 missed high, the count worked full. Yet another full count we've seen early here today.
It's already the third full count we've seen the Oaks have.
Another full count pitch, skied high on the infield. Robinson calls for it on the mound, and that's why you do the PFPs. Another fly out on the infield for the Oaks. Back-to-back infield flies. This time it's an F1.
Now batting, the left fielder, Austin.
And typically when you see that fly ball on the infield, you want the pitcher to get out of the way and have the position players run in and make that grab. Ryan Robinson, he took it himself, took command, and made the play all by his lonesome.
A lot of fly balls so far for the Oaks. Obviously, you had the home run from Bobo, but other than that, Foreman flew out, Arose to start this inning, flies out, and now Smith. So the ball is flying.
Austin Carrillo steps into the box and watches one that almost goes back to the screen. I think Ryan Robinson might have been trying some type of new pitch because that was not a fastball and did not have the command he was looking for outside of the zone. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, but that was a heck of a play by Tejero, the catcher, right there. It was a very athletic play behind the dish to stop the ball from going to the back behind the plate.
The 1-0, just above the letters, 2-0 the count, and quickly Carrillo is up early.
Carrillo yesterday had a pretty decent game hitting the ball.
The 2-0 below the knees for a ball, 3-0, and Carrillo is ahead in the count. We saw to Foreman, he got ahead in the count, we saw to Durfee, he got ahead in the count 3-0. But the count worked all the way back, and he ended up striking out after throwing his bat, a thing the umpire did not like to see. Right here, the take on the 3-0 pitch from Carrillo, and he gets rung up for a strike, now 3-1.
Yeah, and Carrillo, a lefty, just like Durfee. If I'm him, I would not throw my bat towards the first base on whatever pitch. You got to just wait for the ump to make his call.
Learn from your teammates' mistakes. Austin Carrillo is trying to do that right here on the 3-1. Ball in the dirt. He threw his bat, but this time he was right. A ball and a base on balls as Austin Carrillo makes a free trot over to first. And that's going to bring up JT Naviak. And if there's anyone who you want up in this spot in the limited sample size we've seen from the Oaks this season, it's JT Naviak. If you want someone to try to drive in a run with 2 outs, get the guy who hit 3 extra base hits yesterday.
Definitely, and to start the game yesterday in the first inning for the Oaks, they scored all 3 of their first inning runs with 2 outs. So this team can score runs as a 2-out rallying team.
First pitch to Naviak, slapped into center. The center fielder dives, can't make the play. Carrillo rounding third. He's going to go all the way to the plate, and he's held up. A very late hold by the third base coach over there, but it is going to be a double for JT Naviak, his 4th extra base hit of the season, and now there's 2 runners in scoring position for Hunter Call, the 9-hole hitter.
And you thought initially the center fielder had a pretty good read on that hit, but he dives, can't make the play. And, he scrambling for the ball, couldn't find the ball initially. You thought Carrillo was going to come around to score. They were waving him, but at the last minute they did hold him up. And the inning will continue. But like I said, in the bottom of the first inning yesterday, the Oaks were a 2-out rallying team. And now with 2 outs, they have 2 runners in scoring position.
Call looks at the first pitch and sees it catch the outside part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. And right now, the center fielder is shaded significantly towards the right field side. And it looked like that ball was going into the gap off the bat, and then you look at the center fielder's placement, and it was going right to him. Ended up not being able to make the play on the dive as the 0-1 cut on inside the third base bag. 2 runners are going to score. Call is headed to second. The throw in there, but not in time. The tag not applied. Hunter Call with a 2 RBI double, 2-out offense for the Oaks, and Conejo takes a 3-0 lead.
And what a way to score some runs for the Oaks. I mean, they didn't have any runners on. The first 2 batters, Rose and Smith, fly out. Then Carrillo gets a walk. Then back-to-back doubles by Naviak and Call. Those are your 8 and 9-hole hitters. This team's bottom of the order has been making some damage, and it's been very, very impressive, especially here today with 2 outs.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if JT Naviak is going to stay at the bottom of the order for long. I'm not sure how much of a better start you can have to the season. 4 runs scored on the year, 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles and a triple, and a few RBIs sprinkled in there as well. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Foreman. The lineup has turned over as he looks at a pitch for a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 to Foreman. High gets the catcher Harrow out of his stance. A ball, 1-1. And if you want anyone up in this spot, it might be TJ Foreman. Right now a leadoff hitter, and we mentioned it in his first at-bat. Someone who definitely has the wheels to get aboard. If there's a ground ball in the infield, he's going to make the guy who makes the play on defense work for it. And he also had 2 hits and 2 runs scored yesterday. The 1-1. Skied high down the right field line in foul territory. Scavone tracking it from first, so is the right fielder, but it lands out of play. And it's just going to be credited as a strike, 1-2.
And it's another play with the ball being late. I mean, the batter being late. There's been a lot of batters here today that have fouled off pitchers. They've been late on a majority of the foul balls. There's another example, the right-handed hitter fouling it to the right field side because he's late on the contact.
And it is a righty-righty matchup. So with a righty-righty matchup, a right-handed pitcher, the ball is going to run away from the batter a little bit, even on fastballs. Because of the arm slot, it's closer to third base. So it is more prone, if you're a little bit late on it, to go down that right field side as the 1-2. Grounded to third. Foreman with the speed. Can't get to the bag in time. Dardar makes the play, and the inning is retired. TJ Foreman grounds out to third base, but not before 2-run score on 2 hits and 1 runner left on. The top of the third inning coming up after this short break on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Welcome back to the top of the third inning. Joseph Wiersma still on the bump for the Oaks. I believe, Knight, you told me in the break, I believe you said 39 pitches for Wiersma.
Yeah, 39 pitches through the first 2 innings for Wiersma.
Ty Atkins, the 8-hole hitter, steps into the box, shows bunt, pulls back, and watches the ball go by. The count is 1-0.
And for the last 5 batters that Wiersma's faced,
as this pitch grounded to third, Frank can't make the play. Smith picks it up, but the throw not in time. Bobo can't pick it, but Arose, the catcher, backed up the play. So the runner and Atkins can't get aboard. We're calling that an error on Lauren Frank.
Now batting, the shortstop, Sammy Esparza.
but like I was saying right before he hit that, the last 5 batters that Wiersma has thrown to, the first pitch has been a ball. So it's a very interesting note for the next couple of batters to see. I mean, throwing a first pitch ball is very interesting.
Sammy Esparza, the shortstop for the Crawdads. Right-handed hitter steps into the box. First pitch to him, skied down the right field line. Tracking is Foreman at the line, makes the catch. Tagging is Atkins. The cutoff is made, and the throw not in time. A fly out by Sammy Esparza, but the runner in Atkins makes his way over to second base.
Yeah, and Foreman with his speed in right field got a great jump on that ball, but can't get the throw to second base in time. It looked like maybe Adkins had slid a little too far, able to hang on to the bag, and the inning will continue with 1 out.
And when you're fast on the base paths, you kind of have to hook the bag. Leadoff hitter squares to bunt. Hunt goes to third. Frank can't pick it up. The runner's headed home. Atkins, Wiersma from his butt. Can't make the play. Throws it over a Rose. Hunt is headed to second. Stops there. And that is a bunt single for Sam Hunt. It scores a run in Ty Atkins. Hunt makes his way to second after an error by the pitcher in Wiersma, who slipped on the throw and threw it over the head of a Rose. So that's the second error in the inning for the Oaks and the first run of the game for the Crawdads.
Yeah, that was just a weird play all around. I mean, Frank came in to field the bunt. It gets behind him, and then Wiersma picks up the ball. He slips on the throw. He throws it from his butt, like you said. It was just a weird play, and, you know, back-to-back plays, or not back-to-back, but 2 plays in this innings with errors for the Oaks.
And that's the first hit of the game that Joseph Wiersma has allowed. Now the first pitch into Tommy Rover. Inside for a ball, 1-0. And Frank listed on our stat sheet as utility, so third base is a position that he definitely can play, but he does play a little bit of everywhere as the 1-0 cut on down the third base line. Sky just outside of play. That was going to be probably extra bases with the weird swing that had a little flare out to left field, bounced just outside of the chalk. And luckily for the Oaks, too, because that definitely would have been another run scored and probably would have been extra bases.
Yeah, couldn't said it better myself. I mean, that would is definitely going to score a run for sure, but probably would have been extra bases as well. But Wiersma able to stay in this. It's a 1-1 count now with one away. I mean, you can still fight back and get this batter and try to escape with no more damage.
The 1-1 swung on and missed. A breaking ball fooled him. Tommy Rover way out in front of that one, and his bat way higher than the level of the ball across the plate. That's the best pitch I've seen all day from Wiersma.
Yeah, Wiersma right there, you know, like I was saying, it's a 1-1 count. You have the advantage a little bit. You have the runner on second base, but you're trying to battle back, limit the damage that's already been done with the one run. And an excellent pitch right there. Gets Rover to swing and miss, and now you're ahead 1-2.
The 1-2. High and outside for a ball. Count now 2-2. Worked even. Tommy Rover, his last time up, worked a count for a walk and then stole a base. After he worked the count full, after going down in the count, he's trying to do the same thing here against Wiersma for a second time. The 2-2. Cut on and grounded on the infield. Wiersma picks it up, and he'll tag first base himself. 2 down in the inning. The runner advances to third, and that puts a runner just 90 feet from home. But now 2 down. And Wiersma right there, it looked like he had a little bit of trouble with the ball, transferring it to his bare hand. He decided, I have the legs. I can get this ball over to first myself. And he did it himself to secure the out.
You know, and I think also just earlier in the inning after he had the air where he threw the ball from his butt and it went over the catcher's head and to the backstop, I think in that moment he realized that as he was heading towards first base, he'd rather just hold on to it and not chance it.
The breaking ball working for Wiersma. He gets Trevor Werner to wave at one on the first pitch of this at-bat. And you mentioned he likes to open up against those right-handed hitters with sliders outside. That time he did the same thing, and a sweeping breaking ball ends up making Werner look silly on the first pitch. Second pitch, another off speed in the zone. 0-2 the count. He's ahead.
Yeah, and back-to-back sliders to start, but an unusual way to start this at-bat with those back-to-back strikes. This batter is the first batter since the beginning of the first inning that he's thrown a first-pitch strike to.
The 0-2 swung on and fouled straight back on the ground. 0-2 over again. Chris Torres, a man who pitched yesterday, makes his workout for today the run out of the dugout to chase after that foul ball. The 0-2, outside and high, elevated too far out of the zone. Another ball for Wiersma. His first ball of the at-bat. The count is 1-2.
Yeah, and 3 straight sliders to start for Wiersma. Be interesting if he tries to go with a fastball and try to get it high and get him to chase.
The 1-2, cut on and fouled straight back. 1-2 over again, and that looked like his cutter. Had fastball speed with a little bit of arm side run movement. With a little bit more movement than his fastball, I'd call that a cutter. The 1-2, breaking ball, swung on and missed. Trevor Werner goes down swinging. The second strikeout of the day for Wiersma. The Crawdads score 1 run on 1 hit after 2 Oaks errors, and they leave 1 on base. The bottom of the 3rd inning awaits. The Oaks are set to bat. You're listening to a KDTV presentation of the Conejo Oaks. back for the bottom of the third inning. Leading off for the Oaks in the inning is Brendan Bobo. And Knight, I'm not sure if you could be swinging the bat any better than Brendan Bobo. He has not been out this entire season. He was out once on the base pass on a fielder's choice, but he's reached base every single at-bat. The first pitch to him, high for a ball, 1-0. He had a single, followed by a double, a hit by pitch, a single again, and a base on ball in game number 1. And oh yeah, he just had a home run in his last at-bat. This pitch misses low, 2-0 the count.
Yeah, not a bad start to the season if you're Brendan Bobo, like you said, starting 4 for 4, had 2 walks, like you said yesterday, and already 3 runs to the early start in the year for Bobo.
The 2-0, swung and skied down the left field line. Tracking is Werner. Down the line, it lands in play. Bobo is going to stay at first, and it dropped right in between Dardar and Werner. The third baseman tried to track into shallow left, and Werner tried to get all the way to the line. He couldn't do it, and Brendan Bobo starts off the season 5 for 5 in 7 at-bats, has reached base 7 times.
Yeah, that's quite impressive if you ask me. I mean, you can't ask for a better start to a season. You can't ask if you're a coach, to have a better player be your 2-hole hitter, getting to the base every single time.
Frank, his first pitch, skied back behind home plate. The catcher making a run for it. He can't get it. It lands on the roof right above our heads.
Yeah, you know, I would have gotten that ball if the roof wasn't here, Ryan. I know you were talking about it yesterday. If you could have gotten one, that one I felt like I had a pretty good chance at if there was no roof.
It was definitely closer to my side.
I mean, I still think I could have gotten out of my chair and gone and get the ball.
I could have outran you for that ball.
You know, we were shagging BP earlier, and I think that practice getting the fly balls, I think I got that one.
The 0-1 to Frank. Cut on and missed. Lauren Frank down 0-2. His last at-bat, he went down swinging. His last 2 at-bats, actually, he's gone down swinging, dating back to yesterday. He's trying to break that cycle here, but he is going to have to bounce back down in the count.
Yeah, and in that first inning, Frank did fall behind in the count and struck out. His last 2 at-bats, he struck out, and both at-bats, he got behind. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here down 0-2.
0-2 pitch outside. Bobo dives back to first. The pop throw by Tejero is late. The tag not being able to be applied by Scavone. The count now 1-2 to Frank. He's starting his long trek to work back in this count.
I mean, falling behind 0-2 and then trying to battle back after that is a very tough feat, but it'll be interesting to see if Frank can get there.
The 1-2. Cut on and fouled straight back in the dirt. We'll do the 1-2 over again. Robinson came with a pitch with a little arm side run action. It looked like it started on the inside part of the plate, ran a little further inside. I'm not sure if the umpire would have given him that call or not, but Lauren Frank down 2 strikes. That's exactly what you have to do as a hitter. Battle in the count, especially with no one out. You do not want to go down without advancing the runner at the very least, as this pitch outside misses the zone, 2-2. And right now, if you're Lauren Frank, that should be your goal, is advancing the runner. Of course, you want to get a hit. You want to battle back in the count. But with the runner on and no outs, you want to advance him into scoring position for the heart of your lineup.
Especially when the leadoff hitter Bobo gets on base, your role as the 2-hole hitter in an inning is to advance that runner.
He watches a breaking ball inside, and the count worked back full. Lauren Frank. We said it was going to be a tall feat to work back in the count. He's done it. The count now could go either way. High leverage pitch here.
It's really good for him, too, to get back to a 3-2 count after falling behind 0-2, like you said, fouling off a couple balls.
The payoff pitch, skied high down the right field side, and everyone's going to watch it land in the parking lot. We're tied. We're going to do it over again at 3-2. And Frank, definitely someone with a ton of pop in his bat. We saw it on that double yesterday. It flew off of his barrel. He's a big power swinging hitter. So, and that's why he's in the 3 spot. So seeing him be able to work a count like this, that's very encouraging, especially going forward throughout the season. The full count, lined into left field. Werner headed in, doesn't get it on the hop. It short hops him. A single from Frank. He works the count back. Bobo advances to second, and Lauren Frank, a 7-pitch at bat, able to get himself back on the right track, advances the runner, and not only does that, but gets himself aboard as well.
Back-to-back singles to start this inning for the Oaks. And it's a great start after scoring 3 runs in the previous 2 innings for them, but a great job by Frank. You get behind 0-2, you watch a couple balls, you foul a couple pitches off, and you finally get a good pitch you can line into left field, and he does that perfectly. And now it looks like Walnut Creek's going to make a pitching change.
Well, I'm not sure if they're making a pitching change or if it's just going to be a mound visit, but there is a left-hander warming up in the pen for Walnut Creek. Right now, Ryan Robinson, he's someone who's had a fantastic season so far. Walnut Creek has had a lot more games than Conejo. The Oaks, only 1 game prior to this. Walnut Creek, they've played 10 games already. Ryan Robinson, he's had 2 appearances already, and they're not going to make the change yet. He's going to stay on the hill. He had a 3-inning performance against Santa Rosa where he allowed no earned on just 2 hits, and then he got the win against the Mudcats on June 9th where he pitched 2 innings and allowed just 1 earned run on 1 hit. Now he's going to have to get out of a jam here against the Oaks as the first pitch into Durfee. Low and away for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I thought they were going to make the pitching change. Like you said, there's a left-hander in the bullpen. You have a left-hander in Durfee coming here, and so you'd think that would be the matchup they want. They're going to stick with Robinson right now as he tries to battle out of this jam.
The 1-0, high and away. Once again, 2-0 the count.
It's actually 1-1 the count after Durfee swung and missed on the first pitch.
Oh, really? I did not catch that. That is my mistake. I don't know what I'm watching, but I am watching Brendan Durfee working the count, now 1-1. Low in the dirt, Durfee tells the runner at second, no, it did not get past, stay at second. Bobo promptly trots back, and Durfee going to be 2-1 in his count.
Already 58 pitches thrown so far for Robinson through the first 3 innings. I mean, it's not even through the first 3 innings. It's through the first 2 innings, and we're working here in the third.
The 2-1 outside for a ball, 3-1. Durfee ahead in the count, and we've seen a few Oaks so far today get ahead in the count. We saw Austin Carrillo in the second inning. He worked his way for a walk. We've seen a lot of full counts today, and the 3-1 in danger of that. Brendan Durfee trying to make sure it doesn't get to that. Hopefully for him, he gets aboard on his next pitch. At least that's what he wants. The 3-1 in the dirt. He did just that. The bases are now juiced. With no one down in the inning, Brendan Durfee takes a free pass. Frank advances. Bobo advances. And everyone takes a trot for Anson Arose, who now has a big-time opportunity in front of him. Bases juiced. No one down in the inning. Arose missed last inning, just missed the barrel of the ball, skied it high on the infield. And it doesn't look like he has the bat that he wanted. He trotted back to the dugout. Actually, he was adding a shin guard.
Yeah, so Anson Rose is a switch hitter, and so depending on if they're going to keep Robinson here or if they're going to go with a lefty, I think they are going to make the change here.
They are going to make the change to the lefty. I believe that is number 13.
Yes.
For the Oaks, that is going to be Jake Root. He is a lefty out of San Joaquin Delta College, a freshman over there, and he is that lefty. So Anson Rose going to make the switch to the right side of the plate.
Yeah, Rose, like you were saying, he went back to maybe get another bat. No, he actually went back to get the left-footed shin guard on that one because he is a switch hitter. He's going to come up. His first at bat, he was the batting left-handed, of course, against the right-hander Robinson. Like you said, he flew out on the first pitch. You know, for a kid that is just coming out of high school, he's a top recruit going to Oregon next year to play some catcher there. Oregon, a great baseball team this past season, ranked at number 14th going into the NCAA baseball tournament. They got to host a regional. They unfortunately fell to LSU in a Game 7 in the Eugene Regional. But Anson Rose, you're coming straight out of high school. You're just playing some college ball with some D1 players now. You got to be a little bit more patient, you think, instead of just swinging on that first pitch strike.
Well, I mean, it's his first plate appearance, and it was a pitch in the zone. I think he just missed it. I'm not going to knock him for flying out on his first at-bat. I think more likely is the fact, and we haven't seen him play, and we don't know his switch hitting statistics because he has only had that one at-bat. But typically for switch hitters, it's the left-handed side of the plate. Sometimes the average is a little bit lower, especially for a right-handed thrower of the ball. So for someone like Anson Rose, who is a predominantly righty person, who throws righty, who does most of his daily activities righty, you think the right side of the plate, maybe you'll have a little bit more success. He can hit lefty, but the splits from righty to lefty, we see it with traditional switch hitters all the time. Sometimes that lefty split is a little bit lower in terms of the batting average than the righty split. So Anson Rose, one at bat, he saw a pitch he liked last inning, wasn't able to convert on it, but right here, now he's on the right side of the plate. We'll see if he fares better.
And now number 13, Jace Root, is going to be the pitcher for Walnut Creek.
Jace Root, 6'1", 195 pounds, a freshman at San Joaquin Delta College. Rose makes his way into the batter's box. Root delivers the first pitch high for a ball. Jace Root has had 3 appearances so far this year, a 1-1 win-loss record, and a 6.0 ERA. The 1-0 to a Rose. Fouled straight back, and right there, if you're a hitter, you know, you foul one straight back like that, you just missed that pitch. It's a miss. It's a foul ball. But it's one that a Rose knows. He's right next to barreling it up.
Yeah, and Anson Rose, a little bit more of that traditional look. No batting gloves. Just swinging the bat, just bare hands, and it's a wood bat.
1-1. Cut on and skied into shallow left field. The shortstop going to go back for it. And the left fielder calls him off, and he dropped it. He dropped it. A Rose is going to get there, and the third baseman drops it. Frank's going to get to third. Everyone's going to advance. It's an error by the left fielder, and the bases are back and juiced with now a run scored as Brendan Bobo trots home.
And right there was just miscommunication between the shortstop and the left fielder. Either or both ones wanted to call off each other. Finally, the left fielder gets the call off, but can't make the catch. It goes in his glove and falls down. Then you think they're going to get the play at third. They throw it. The ball's in the dirt. It goes off of the third baseman's glove and away, and everybody's safe right now. I mean, it's just an unfortunate play if you're Walnut Creek.
Especially the fact that the third baseman couldn't make the pick. You can live with it a little bit as the first pitch into Grant Smith is high and away for a ball. You can live with it if you make the error. Sure, the run scores, but then you can get Frank out at third, and then there's one down in the inning with runners on first and second. Now, no one down in the inning with the bases loaded once again because the third baseman in Dardar on the throw that was made after the drop by Werner could not make the pick. This ball gets away from the catcher, but not enough for Frank to make his way home. The count now 2-0 to Grant Smith.
And back-to-back balls after that error Maybe Roots is just a little bit shaken up after allowing that run. I know you come in with the bases loaded. It's a tough situation. You get an easy pop-up. The defense doesn't help you out. Now, as a pitcher, maybe that shakes your confidence a little.
The 2-0 in the zone, line to left. Frank is going to score. The runners are going to advance 90 feet, and the Oaks make the score 5-1. A nice piece of hitting right there. A pitch, fastball, right in the zone, barreled it up well. And the Oaks extend their lead to 4 runs.
Yeah, and Smith right there takes 2 balls to start the at-bat. You think going up 2-0 in the count, you're going to get a favorable pitch. He does, able to just get the barrel on the ball. A nice little line drive to left field, and he score a run. All the runners advance. It's looking good for the Oaks. I mean, all the runners have reached safely. You've already scored 2 runs, and the bases are loaded.
No one down for Austin Carrillo. A walk last at-bat. Ended up scoring as the first pitch to him. Low and away for a ball, 1-0 the count. And Carrillo, someone who's had success to start out the season, grounded out in his first at-bat of the year, but then 3 straight singles, did not fly out. That was when he got pinch hit for, but so far on the season, he's 3 for 4 with a walk. As this one barreled up but foul. A screamer into the fence down that right field line. The count, 1-1.
Yeah, and Carrillo yesterday, both his hits came against left-handed pitchers. As a left-handed hitter, normally that's not the matchup you want. But for Carrillo, he's had those 2 hits off the lefties, so he's had the success this season. Let's see if he can continue it.
Outside pitch for a ball, 2-1. And correct me if I'm wrong. So, was that 6th inning of yesterday's game, was that Hunter Call's first at-bat?
Let me look.
Because I believe that Carrillo had 3 hits last game. The 2-1 gets in the zone for Carrillo. The count now 2-2.
I had the at-bat in the 6th inning go to Hunter Call.
Okay, I am mistaken. Austin Carrillo, 2 hits on the season. Either way, 2 for 3. He's reached base 3 times, and he has scored twice on the year. The 2-2, ground ball to second. He's trying to turn it. The fielder's choice to second base gets the out, but a run scores as Brendan Durfee crosses the dish. Anson Arose advances to third, and Austin Carrillo is now going to make his mark on first base. So the Oaks advance to a 6-1 lead, and now 1 down in the inning with runners on the corners. Stepping into the box, and we've talked a lot about the hot bats for the Oaks. Maybe Brendan Bobo, but JT Naviak is right there in terms of his bat is scorching.
Yeah, no, his bat is scorching. I mean, he had an excellent game yesterday, finishing 3 for 5, 600 batting average. Came in today, hit a double, and already has 2 runners on and a chance to threaten. But that was a heck of a play by the second baseman going to second base.
Second pitch into Naviak. Sky down the right field line.
But continuing with that thought, it was a heck of a play by the second baseman, Rover right there to go to second base on that last play. By getting the force out at second, you set yourself up with a runner on first and 1 out. You have a chance to turn 2 right here to end the inning. So it was a heck of a play to keep the force out in play for a chance for a double play to get out of the inning.
Clarification, that was a foul ball on the last pitch, so don't worry, you did not miss any action. As this pitch grounded right back up the middle, second baseman flips to short, throws to first. The out is called, but it looked to me like Naviak got in there safely. And they're going to call that he was in there safely. So
I think you were referring to the out that was called at second base.
Well, there was no first place umpire. There was no first base umpire. There's only 2 umpires on the field. The guy at second base, the umpire at second base, called the out at second. But either way, a run scores in a row. Naviak gets aboard with another fielder's choice. Carrillo, he's retired trying to head to second. And the Oaks take a 7-1 lead. And this is going to make way for Hunter Call. Last at bat, he hit a double. This first pitch, he skies back and out of play. The count is 0-1. Second pitch to Call. Misses the zone for a ball. 1-1. The count is even.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you set yourself up if you're Walnut Creek to try to turn that double play. They get a favorable ground ball. They try to turn two, but Noviak beats out the throw and results in the fourth run of the inning for the Oaks.
The 1-1. Off-speed pitch outside part of the plate. Misses for a ball. 2-1. And I've really liked what I've seen from the defense of Rover this inning. Tommy Rover has done a great job. Twice he's been able to ground balls to him, make the smart play, go to second, get the runner that is further advancing than the one at first. 2-1 pitch outside. Tejero has to get into that lefty batter's box to stop that ball. Count is 3-1. Hunter Call ahead in the count, a hitter's count. He's looking for a pitch in the zone. And when you're swinging the bat like Hunter Call is, where you are 2 for 3 in your first 3 at-bats, you like it when you're in a hitter's count. The 3-1, squared to bunt, down the line, foul, and that makes the count full. And talk through that decision from Hunter Call right there. In a hitter's count, squares to bunt down that third base line. He's trying to bunt for a single because there's 2 down in the inning. He definitely has the wheels as the rangy center fielder that he is. Talked to him pregame. He knows he has the wheels. But he fouled that ball outside of the bag, and now the count is full when on a 3-1 count, you think you're getting a ball in the zone.
Yeah, definitely thinking you're going to get a ball in the zone. That's a pitch where you can bunt. You're not going to lose a lot by bunting. If it goes foul, then you just work yourself to a full count. But if it goes your way, you get a beautiful bunt right down the line. It catches them by surprise. You're advance the runner and probably get to first safely.
The full count. Call swings through it, goes down swinging, and the side is finally retired for the Crawdads. They give up 4 runs on 3 hits with 1 error and 1 left on base. To the top of the 4th, the Oaks lead 7-1 on the Conejo Oaks YouTube channel and the Conejo Oaks live stream. Welcome back. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream. The Oaks lead 7-1 at the top of the fourth inning. Ryan Milano and Knight Uretsky. And I will turn play-by-play duties over to my partner, Knight Uretsky, for the next 3 innings.
Thank you, Ryan. And we have a new pitcher right now for the Conejo Oaks. It is number 23, Aiden Garza. He's going to be a sophomore in the fall from St. Mary's. And the southpaw is already ready and throws as the first pitch to Dardar is grounded to first base. Bobo's there and already one away on the first pitch to Dardar.
And if you're Dardar, you look at that pitch and a new pitcher, first time in the game, you think first pitch, a pitcher's going to want to throw a strike. I like the first pitch swinging approach from Dardar, but he did also just roll over to first base, and an out is retired for Bobo.
Garza already set the windup, and the pitch is inside in the dirt. Make the count 1-0.
Goulart had to pick up his back foot to avoid getting hit. A little bit of a back foot fastball. Not traditional, but we saw it right there from Garza. And I think that's just a result of him missing his spot.
First action of the year for Garza as the 1-0 pitch is high for a ball. Garza played for perfect game. He was a 500 overall perfect game prospect, the lefty was. Brings 4 pitches with a fastball that runs 85 to 88, a curveball that runs 73 to 76 as the 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Makes the count 2-1. Also has a slider that's around 72 miles per hour and a changeup that's also around 76 miles per hour. So just like Wiersma, you're going to see a pitcher with 4 different pitch selections.
And I'm not sure if he's going to use that curveball anymore. He did not tell to the coaching staff that was one of his selected pitches. It was what we found in our research of him, and that was the miles per hour that was accredited to that. But on the sheet that we have presented from the coaching staff, it's fastball, slider, changeup, so he does still have that breaking ball in his bag.
The 3-1 pitch is inside, and Garza's going to walk Goulart.
Goulart making a hard round of first as the ball got away from a Rose. The pitch in the dirt. Ball got away. Goulart took opportunity. You can advance to second base if you want to, if you feel you can get there if the ball gets away from the catcher. Goulart definitely made that a possibility, but didn't quite end up making the decision to go.
That was the 3rd walk of the game for the Crawdads as Garza fires, and that one's outside for a ball. Makes the count 1-0.
And this was a count that they didn't have to work as hard as they did for the other few. I believe that was actually the 3rd walk of the game for the Crawdads. There was one in the first from Tommy Rover and one in the second from Goulart, so that's his 2nd walk of the game. The 3rd walk for the Crawdads. The first time Goulart had to work a lot harder in the count to get that base on balls.
Zach Tejero, the catcher, up to the plate for the Crawdads as he stands in with a 1-1 count with 1 away as he fouls it down the left field line, out of play. Tejero, his first time coming up to the plate, he struck out on 6 pitches, finds himself down 1-2 once again. Runner on first. Garza set. He delivers, and that one gets behind a Rose. Goulart's heading for second, and he's going to get there safely. So a pass ball advances the runner. And now Tejera will stand in with a 2-2 count with a runner on second.
And some of that is going to happen early in the season for the Oaks. These players, not experienced with each other, they just met 5 days ago. A Rose hasn't caught Garza that much, so doesn't know how much his slider action is moving.
As the 2-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it'll make it a full count.
So when Garza misses his spot on a slider like that, where a catcher with a lot of chemistry with Garza probably make that block. Someone like a Rose who hasn't had as much chemistry doesn't know that that pitch is going to be as far outside as it is.
And a ball is in the dirt, so after Tejero struck out on 6 pitches, his first at bat, he will now walk on 6 pitches.
The first baseman, Tommy.
And now it'll bring up Tommy Scavone, the first baseman, with 2 runners on and only 1 away here in the top of the 4th inning.
And final thing about my chemistry point, all of this chemistry is going to get much, much better throughout the course of the season. There's 40 games and over 2 months of action. It's going to get a lot better, and these players are going to get to know each other a lot more.
Scavone takes the first pitch for a ball in the dirt, makes the count 1-0. Still 1 out, 2 runners on. Garza set. Looks back to second a couple of times and now fires as now Scavone lifts it to right field. Back to the wall is Foreman. He makes the catch, and now the runner at second, Goulart, will advance to third. Tejero stays at first. Scavone with the fly out, but advances the runner. So now runners on the corner with 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
And there, I thought that that was going to be a line drive, and we've talked about it for the first few days. We've had a hard time gauging the depth of balls hit hard to right field. That time, I thought that ball was going to stay in the yard, and then Foreman kept tracking back and back and back, and eventually he got to the track in the wall and then made the catch.
So Ty Adkins at the plate. The first pitch to him is a ball outside. Make the count 1-0.
Right field, a little bit shorter than it is in left, and that might add to a little bit of our depth perception issues. 5 feet shorter in the corner, 5 feet shorter to right center than it is in left corner and left center, respectively.
As the 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, Garza evens it up 1-1. Definitely is interesting to note that the field is not uniform on both sides. Like you said, the 5 feet shorter on the right side compared to the left side, and the wind is tracking in that direction. So throughout the game, maybe there will be more balls heading over the right field wall as the 1-2 pitch is in there for a strike. So Garza still working in the jam. Runners on the corner with 2 away. Ty Adkins, his first time reached on an error. Later came around and scored as the 1-2 pitch is in the door. Arose throws to first, and now they got him in the jam. Bobo throws back to the second baseman. Back over now is
and the runner,
Malviak.
The runner touched home before the tag was applied. So actually a really smart play from Tejero at first as we head to the bottom of the 4th, because he stays in the rundown long enough for Goulart to score that run.
So Goulart comes around to score. They throw back to first, and so there is 1 run on no hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Oaks leading 7-2. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream. We are back here at Conejo, or at George Sparky Anderson Field, with the Conejo Oaks leading 7-2 over the Walnut Creek Crawdads.
And Knight, last inning, we saw a crazy play to end the game as TJ Foreman steps into the box for the Oaks. We saw a play of first and third. Anson Rose saw the runner at first, getting a little too far off the bag, threw down, got him in a pickle, and the ruling on this play is, as the first pitch into Foreman,
Is hit right back to Root. Root flips it over to first, and Foreman is retired. So already one out off of the first pitch in the bottom of the fourth inning to Foreman.
but as I was saying, when you get in a rundown, the runner at third, if he touches home before the tag is applied, that run scores. Because there's no out, the inning isn't over at that point. The inning's only over until the third out is made. And that runner's already established himself on first base. So the Crawdads, they end up scoring a run. It's very similar to a play that we saw in the major leagues about a month ago.
As the first pitch to Bobo is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
And in the major leagues, if the listeners remember, a Javi Baez play against the Pirates where he was running to first and then got caught in a rundown.
As the 1-0 pitch is fouled off by Bobo down the left field line.
He got caught in a rundown between first and home with the first baseman having never touched the first base bag. The runner from third came in to score. That was called safe, but actually that play doesn't apply to that rule because you have to establish yourself as a runner. So the Crawdads score after this pitch comes in as a ball to Bobo. The Crawdads score on that because the runner at first was already established on the base paths, and the runner from third was able to touch home before the tag was applied.
So the 2-1 pitch to Bobo is fouled off down the right field line and out of play. And Brendan Bobo steps up to the plate, still perfect on the year, reaching base successfully in 7 plate appearances. He has 5 hits. Today, he has a home run over the right field wall and a single in the third inning. He stands in once again with a 2-2 count with 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The pitch from Root is in the dirt outside, and the count is full.
And let's talk about Jace Root for a minute, because Root, he's someone who has had 3 appearances on the season so far for the Crawdads. He's 1-1 with a 6.0 ERA, and in his appearances, he had a 4-inning gem.
As Bobo lifts this one high and deep to right, but that's not going to get out of the park, and Brendan Bobo is finally retired for the first time this season as Adkins makes the play, and 2 are gone here in the bottom of the fourth.
Knight, it couldn't last forever. Brendan Bobo finally retired at the plate after 7 straight times reaching base. Finally retired. It's not a perfect batting average. It's not a perfect on-base percentage anymore. But for Jace Root, he had a gem, 4 innings, 0 earned runs.
As now Frank lifts this one to right field. Adkins makes the play, and the inning is over. So no runs on no hits, no runners left on base, no errors. We head to the top of the 5th inning. The Oaks lead 7-2. You're listening on KDTV, watching the Oaks live stream. back here for the top of the 5th inning. Knight Uretsky joined alongside Ryan Milano. And Aiden Garza back out on the mound for the Oaks. He had 14 pitches in that 4th inning in his first inning of relief. As he's all set, the windup, the pitch. Adkins is going to bunt. Garza fields it. He flips it to first. And it's in time. Boba's there. And already one away off the first pitch to Adkins.
And that was a close play at first. Atkins made it very close. From the naked eye from very far away, it looked like his foot got in there, but the umpire, much closer than I, called it out, and I'm going to side with the umpire on this one. 1 down in the inning.
Yeah, it definitely was a close play. It was a nice play by Adkins. The lefty hitter bunts down the left field line. You have a little bit of an advantage being in the right side of the box as Garza fires, and that pitch is outside. But again, you are a lefty hitter going up against a left-handed pitcher. It's kind of a hard play for the lefty to field going to his left side. And Adkins took the gamble but cannot come out with success as the 1-0 pitch is away for a ball, 2-0 now. Sammy Esparza at the plate, the shortstop. His first time up, he flew out to right field on the first pitch. As Garza fires, and that one's swung on and missed. 2-1 the count now.
And for Garza, it's about location. He walked 2 batters in the last inning. He missed, and one of those batters ended up coming all the way around to score. It's about finding command, finding that location.
Garza gets Esparza to swing and miss on that one. Got him chase on a pitch that ran away outside. And the count is even at 2-2. The windup, the pitch, and that one's got him looking. Esparza down on 3 straight strikes after going ahead 2-0, and Garza gets his first strikeout.
First strikeout of the season for Aiden Garza. That has to feel good on the dish, especially after struggling with a little bit of command in the last inning, then going down 2-0 to this batter. Finding that strike zone, being able to mix up the pitches and get down on Ks.
First pitch to Sam Hunt is away for a ball outside part of the plate. Sam Hunt comes into this at bat, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. As Garza throws and Hunt grounds it to the second baseman. Naviak can't field it, and that's an error.
And it was off the end of the bat, and Sam Hunt didn't even run that hard to first base. It was a weird spinner, so very tough play for Naviak because that has, off the end of the bat, does all sorts of dancing, ended up not being able to get it, and once Sam Hunt, after jogging down the line, saw that the ball was kicked at second base, then got on his horse, started hustling, then got into the bag without a throw.
So now runner on with 2 away. Garza fires, that one's inside to Tommy Rover.
Rover, he had a base on balls in his first at-bat and then grounded right back to the pitcher in his second. Not someone that we've seen today, from what we've seen today at least, that has huge pop in the bat, but someone who has worked counts, someone who can get deep in those counts.
As the pitch is outside, Arose thought about throwing to second. Hunt was threatening to go to second. He then slides back to first, and Arose on his back foot fired it to Bobo, the first baseman. But still, 2-0 count now to Tommy Rover.
And it's tough for a catcher to get out of the stance and be set with your footwork and be able to throw. Arose does it without the footwork, and he still put it on the money, and that's the second time he did it.
Hunt now fouls this one behind. And it goes over the roof out of the stadium. Ryan, I saw you reaching for that one. You think you could have gotten that foul ball if the roof wasn't there?
I needed an extendo arm.
An extendo arm? Like a Mrs.
If I was Elastigirl.
Elastigirl from The Incredibles?
Yes, if I was Elastigirl, I would have been able to get there.
As Rover lifts this one to left center field, and the play is made by Call to the right side. So that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Oaks lead 7-2. And we are back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brendan Durfree coming up to the plate, the DH for the Conejo Oaks as he stands in. His team leads 7-2. Oaks have scored 0 runs since the 3rd inning as Durfee fouls this one down the left field line and out of play. The Oaks scored 1 run in the bottom of the 1st, 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, and 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. No runs in the bottom of the 4th. Durfree looking to make a difference here in the bottom of the 5th. As the 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike. Durfree having a tough go of things. His first at bat got ahead 3-0 before striking out on 3 straight strikes in his first plate appearance. Then walked in the 3rd and came around to score.
I'm not sure if necessarily having a tough go of things.
I was saying that he was making a tough go of things, getting a lot of called strikes right after that play. He had 3 called strikes in the 1st inning.
Absolutely. He grounded out to second base right here. But right here for the Oaks, after a 1-2-3 inning, you want to make sure that the momentum hasn't swung the other way. You want to make sure to probably get a few people on base. That ground ball by Durfree to get the first out of the inning, something that if you're the Oaks, you don't want. You want, in this inning in particular, to get on base early.
As the first pitch to Anson Araz is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Jace Root on the mound. He delivers, and a breaking ball is in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
And Arose, his last time up, had that weird fly ball into shallow left field.
As Arose fouls this one, Grant Smith, who's on deck, reached out with his left hand, almost able to make the play there barehanded without the mitt. You know, shortstop's always looking to make a play, no matter, even if they have a bat in their hand.
Grant Smith, not a stranger to a barehanded grab.
As the pitch is outside, evens the count 2-2 to Anson Arose.
And we see right here, we see Root, he's working a lot on the outside part of the plate, and he's working a lot with his off-speed. We've seen a lot of fastballs, we've also seen a heavy dose of changeups.
The 2-2 pitch is grounded to the 3rd baseman, Dardar, as he throws over to first, and the play is made. So 2 are retired here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And for Conejo now, that is 6 straight batters that have been retired. And if you want to count the 2 fielders' choices at the end of the 3rd inning, then that would be the entire lineup, 8 straight batters. Grant Smith, the last batter to get a hit for the Oaks.
It's very similar to the Oaks yesterday as Root fires, and Smith rips a single up the middle. And that ends the streak.
Grant Smith still the last hitter to get a hit for the Oaks. It's just much more recently now. It's a great piece of hitting. See the first pitch in the zone and put it right back where it came from, up the middle, and dump it into center field.
So now Austin Carrillo will come up to the plate. His last time at the plate, he reached on a fielder's choice. Carrillo walked in the second inning and later came around to score as he stands in and takes the first pitch for a strike with 2 outs.
Breaking ball low in the zone, ended up finding the zone for a Root.
Austin Carrillo plays here at Cal Lutheran in his home ballpark with the Oaks as Root delivers and gets the second pitch to be called for a strike. He jumps ahead, now 0-2.
The umpire back-to-back pitches on pitchers that have caught that outside part of the zone. Ones that are probably 50-50 pitches. Both times it's consistent. 2 strikes early in the count to Carrillo.
The 0-2 pitch is hit to the first baseman, Scavone. He touches the bag, and that'll do it. So, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the top of the 6th inning. The Oaks lead 7-2. You're listening here on the KDTV broadcast on the Oaks live stream. Welcome back to Sparky Anderson Field here in the top of the 6th inning. The Conejo Oaks lead 7-2, and we have a new pitcher for the Oaks. It's Eric Ma, the 4-year Conejo Oak, as he gets his first action of 2021 as he delivers a pitch, and it's in there for a strike there, and to say that number 28 Trevor Warner checks Wong.
There's also another defensive, not substitution, but defensive realignment. Grant Smith and JT Naviak switch spots, shortstop and second base. Smith now at second. Naviak now at short as this pitch finds his zone for a strike. Count is 0-2.
Eric Ma, currently in the transfer portal, spent this last season at Northern Colorado, as the 0-2 pitch is a ball. I say that's inside. Looked pretty good up here.
Looked pretty good up here, but we are a little bit elevated. It gets a little bit difficult to see the high-low parts of the zone, especially on elevated pitches.
As Ma gets Warner swinging, and already one away here in the top of the 6th inning.
That's a great start for Eric Ma. And people who have been watching the Oaks for a while, fans of the Oaks for a while, you know the name Eric Ma. He's been with the team for quite some time now, since his time back at Whitman. I believe it's been since 2017 rather, where he's been with the Conejo Oaks. So a long-time tenured Eric Ma. Longest time tenured player on the team, as the first pitch to Seth Dardar misses for a ball.
Eric Ma this past year at Northern Colorado only pitched 2/3 of an inning, as the 1-0 pitch is ball outside part of the plate. And it'll move to 2-0. But only 2/3 of an innings pitched at Northern Colorado this past season, as the 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled off by Dardar. Had a pec injury that really limited him this past season. It was his first season going to Division I baseball after making the jump from Whitman, as the 2-1 pitch is fouled away by Dardar.
Fouled away in the exact same spot as the last pitch, and they're making the dugout work. It is number 24 who continues to keep running out. That's Durfrey, who continues to keep running out. He's the designated hitter in the game right now.
As Dardar lifts this one to right, Foreman's not going to be able to get there. Dardar with a single, and now the Walnut Creek Crawdads get their second hit of the game here in the top of the 6th inning.
They've had second hit. They have had 2 hits, but they've had quite a few base runners off of errors. So they haven't been able to drive the ball against the Oaks, but they have found other ways to get on base, that being one of the first balls that has been actually into the outfield.
Moss set. He delivers. That one's inside to Goulart.
Actually, I believe that is the first ball that has been thrown in, that has been hit into the outfield for the Crawdads all day. The first hit was a bunt single for Sam Hunt in the 3rd inning.
Ma delivers a breaking ball inside, and he falls behind 2-0 for the second time in the last 2 batters.
Ma comes with a pitch selection of fastball, curveball, slider, and splitter right there. That was a breaking pitch, either a slider or a curveball.
The 2-0 pitch is inside, so 3 straight inside pitches makes it a hitter's count at 3-0 to Goulart.
Goulart walked both times he's been up to the plate already. Maybe he just has a great eye. Maybe there's something about him that's intimidating the pitchers, but they're not throwing strikes.
Ma finally delivers a strike, as it's a fastball called on the inside part of the plate. Count moves to 3-1. Dardar on first with the single. Ma set and throws, and that one's fouled away out of the stadium behind us. Looks like it hits the rec building right behind us, and the count is full.
And one of the Crawdads players trotted outside of the stadium to go retrieve that ball.
You love to see the hustle. The payoff pitch hits Goulart, as Goulart reaches first for the 3rd time here today.
Now batting, the catcher,
So now 2 runners on with 2 outs, or excuse me, 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Anson Arose, the catcher, goes and tries to settle down Eric Ma.
Yeah, after getting the strikeout, Ma then gave up a hit into the outfield, went down 3-0 to Goulart, and then ended up plunking him, which is just as good of a walk because it was on a 3-ball count.
The first pitch is outside, so after throwing a lot of pitches in the past at bat inside to a right-handed batter, now he's facing a lefty. He goes outside to him. So it seems like the pitches that Ma is throwing are coming a little towards that arm side. As the 1-0 pitch is a ball in the dirt, count moves to 2-0.
And we've talked with Eric Ma a little bit over the past few days, and he said start-off counts, he likes a little bit to get ahead in counts. He's not doing that right here. He didn't do that against Goulart, not doing it right here.
As Ma throws and falls behind 3-0 for the second time in the past two batters.
He likes to live low in the zone to start off counts, low and outside. Those are pitches that are hard for batters to hit. Right here, he's gone down 3-0 in back-to-back at-bats.
3-0 pitch is low for a ball. So after Seth Dardar leads off, or the second batter in the inning hits a single, Mark Goulart is hit by a pitch. He reaches first, and now Zach Tejero walks, and the bases are loaded.
And this is Eric Ma's first action since the pectoral injury that halted his season at Northern Colorado. He's trained a little bit, but this is his first live action on the hill since that time where he suffered that injury. So it's his first time seeing live hitting in a live game.
Tommy Scavone up at the plate as Ma delivers his sixth straight ball, this one in the dirt. Count moves to 1-0. Ma throws, and Scavone grounds this one foul. Count is even at 1-1. So bases loaded with one out. The Crawdads trail by 5. As Scavone has a chance to make this a one-run game with a home run. As Scavone rips this one to left center field, that's going to get down. One run's going to score. Two runs are going to score. They're going to hold Tejera at third, and Tommy Scavone delivers a 2 RBI double, and the Walnut Creek Crawdads are going to bring the tying run to the plate as they trail 7-4 with 2 runners on.
And for Eric Ma right now, you can't worry about the fact that you gave up a hit. After essentially 2 straight walks, the hit by pitch on a 3-ball count and the walk, you threw a strike. You're throwing strikes. It's about getting the ball back into the zone.
As Ma delivers a breaking ball that's swung on and missed by pinch hitter now, number 18, Kurun Azawa Burns. He's at West Valley College. As Azawa Burns grounds it to the shortstop, 1 run's going to come in to score Naviak over to first. And Azawa Burns is retired. So now it's a 7-5 game as Zach Tejero comes in to score.
Now batting, the shortstop, Sammy.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Eric Ma. You get the strikeout originally. You know that your stuff is working a little bit. You know that you have your out pitches working. Then you are having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. You give up the double, but I think that double is an outlier. These Crawdads have shown that they haven't been able to drive the ball to the outfield so far yet today. As the first pitch into Esposa misses for a ball. These Crawdads have shown they haven't been able to be driving the ball into the outfield. You give a pitch, they barrel it up. It's their first extra base hit of the day. Just throw strikes. After you go down in 2 counts and get 2 batters aboard without throwing strikes, you want to get back in the count.
The 0-1 pitch is inside for a ball. 2 outs. Sammy Esparza at the plate. Esparza 0 for 2 today after flying out to right field and striking out in the 5th as Esparza grounds this one to Naviak, the shortstop. He throws over the first, and Esparza is retired. So 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 runner left on air. Or excuse me, 3 runs come in to score on 2 hits and 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks lead 7-5. back for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Conejo Oaks lead 7-5. They were leading 7-2 going into the inning, but 3 runs scored by the Walnut Creek Crawdads in the top of the 6th inning has made this a 2-run game. And Root delivers a ball outside for a 1-0 count. JT Noviak, the shortstop now, started the game at second base. He comes up to the plate as Noviak takes a ball inside, and the count moves to 2-0.
Noviak, he's had 4 extra base hits on the season, and even his last at-bat, not getting a board, or he did get a board, but not getting a hit with the fielder's choice, still was able to drive in a run. That counts as an RBI. That's a good at-bat. That's a successful at-bat if you're in that spot with 1 down and a runner on first and third.
Noviak rips this one foul down the left field line. The count moves to 2-1. Noviak making the last 2 defensive plays for the Oaks at shortstop, and now trying to make another threat as a hitter. As Noviak fouls this one away. Noviak's nickname is the Flying Hawaiian. Probably one of my favorite nicknames on this team. How about you, Ryan?
I love it. He's fast, speedster on the base paths from Hawaii. Makes perfect sense.
And the pitch is outside, and the count is full at 3-2.
And the 2 pitches before that, Noviak grounded one outside of the bag at third into the bullpen that an Oak had to go and make a play on that bounced back into left field. And then again, he bounced into the dugout where an Oak in the dugout had to make a play on it.
Noviak rips this one, and they're going to say foul. It was close, right by the bag.
This time a Crawdad gets in on the action in the bullpen on the right field side. The pitcher warming up made a pick of the ball right after throwing the ball to the catcher in the bullpen. That's impressive. I don't know about you. You might be watching the game. I'm watching the bullpen, so that's impressive.
Impressive indeed, as the 3-2 pitch is grounded to the shortstop. Esparza as he throws over to first, and the play is made, and Noviak is retired. So an 8-pitch at bat for Noviak ends with an out. It's the 6-3 play, and Hunter Call, the center fielder, will step up to the plate with his team up by 2.
Hunter Call has driven the ball so far today. He had that double, and then he did strike out in the 3rd inning in his last at-bat, but he did work the count full in that at-bat.
Hunter Call lines this one to Esparza, and 1 pitch and 1 out. And now 2 away for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Esparza getting a lot of action early in the inning. The ground ball to him. He had to throw to first. Now, first pitch of the next at-bat. Line drive right to him. I thought that had a chance off the bat to get over his head. Esparza took a few steps back, and it went right into his glove.
So TJ Foreman, the right fielder, going from the center fielder Hunter Call to the right fielder TJ Foreman, steps up to the plate as the first pitch to Foreman is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0 the count. Foreman comes into this at bat 0 for 3 on the afternoon. He flew out to the second baseman in the 1st inning, grounded out to the 3rd baseman in the 2nd inning, and then grounded out to the pitcher in the 4th inning. Looking to change his luck as Root fires, and that one's outside for a ball. 2-0 the count.
Right, Root has had a very impressive outing. He came in down in a 7. He came down in the ball game, got out of a big-time jam with no earned runs to his name so far, gone through 2 innings unscathed.
As Foreman rips this one to Esparza, makes a tough play, throws across his body, and Foreman is safe at first. And that's a tough play because TJ Foreman, he has some wheels.
He does have the wheels. We were talking to him prior to the game, and he said that whenever he's on base, he feels like second base is his. He can take second base whenever he wants. That applies to coming out of the box and running down the first baseline. He knows he has the speed. He knows he has the base path prowess in order to get to first, and right there for Esparza, it looked like he was going to be making all 3 outs of the inning, made a tough backhanded play, and TJ Foreman beat it out, and that's a single. That's an infield single.
So an infield single for TJ Foreman keeps the inning alive for the Oaks. They were able to score a couple of runs yesterday and a couple of runs today with 2 outs as Root fires a strike in there to Brendan Bobo. TJ Foreman on first base. It'll be interesting to see if he steals or attempts to steal second base. Foreman, like we've mentioned yesterday, holds the Ventura College stolen base record. Before the game, his high school coach used to tell him that he had 2 pitches to steal second. And that one is fouled off by Bobo. Foreman does not steal there, but like I was saying, his high school coach would tell him that he had 2 pitches to steal second base, and if he didn't, then something was really wrong with him. And, you know, that's the type of mindset you're going to have when you have a speedy right fielder leading it off for your team with the Oaks.
It's a little bit more difficult, especially for in the CCL, because this is higher level pitching, and right now he's facing off against Root, who's a left-handed pitcher. Harder to get a jump off of those guys.
Root gets a ball in the dirt. Foreman goes to second. And so Foreman puts himself in scoring position with 2 outs for Brendan Bobo, who right before this last at-bat that he had, he was perfect in his Conejo Oaks career.
Yeah, Bobo on a little bit of a cold streak. After going 5 for 5, 7 for 7 on base, he's 0 for 1 in his last at-bat.
And by cold streak, you mean 1 at-bat.
Yes, I mean 0 for 1 in his last at-bat.
The pitch to Bobo is swung on, high, deep. See you later, Brandon Bobo, gone.
The second home run of the day for Brendan Bobo. The second no-doubter of the day for Brendan Bobo. He took it personally that we called it a cold streak, or I called it a cold streak, because absolutely, what on-fire way to start the season. 6 for 6, 2 home runs, a double, 3 singles on the season. Brendan Bobo, oh my goodness. That was gone in any park that you want to go to.
That was way gone. Wow. I mean, I knew right when he hit it, that was gone. But what a home run. 2 home runs today for Brendan Bobo. And the Oaks extend their lead back up to 4. And Lauren Frank steps up to the plate, takes the first pitch for a strike. And takes the second pitch for a strike 2. So now Frank falls behind 0-2. Frank today 1 for 3 on the afternoon, had a single in the third, flew out to right in his last plate appearance as he takes a ball outside. The count moves to 1-2. In the first inning, he struck out on 4 pitches.
Right, I'm still here in awe looking at Brendan Bobo over the last 2 games. 6 for 6, 3 extra base hits, including 2 home runs.
6 for 7.
6 for 7, yes, 6 for 7.
Plus 2 walks.
Well, a walk and a hit by pitch.
A walk by a hit by pitch, you're right.
He has had 9 plate appearances, reached base 8 times.
As Frank swings through that one, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th inning. So 2 runs on 1 hit and no errors. We had 2 hits as Foreman had the single. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. The Oaks lead 9-5. Hello and welcome back here for the top of the 7th inning. Knight Uretsky joined alongside Ryan Milano. I'm going to send it back over to Ryan for the final 3 innings of play-by-play.
After the 2-run shot from Brendan Bobo, the Oaks have a 9-5 lead. Eric Ma out Brian Perez, making his first appearance on the hill of the season for the Oaks. Perez, he's undecided of where he wants to go to school next and where he's going to end up. That's exactly why he is with the Oaks, as the first pitch in there for a strike to Sam Hunt.
Yeah, Brian Perez at Glendora Community College.
Second pitch, check swing from Hunt. It doesn't matter. Strike called from the umpire regardless of the swing.
He didn't get a season this past year in the JUCO ranks, just played on a couple of travel ball teams, and now he's here.
The 0-2 lifted into left field. Carrillo in, makes the squeeze, and the first batter is retired. Perez starts off his day with an out, and that is going to pass the bat to Tommy Rover. Rover on the day 0 for 2. He reached base in the first inning with a walk, stole second, but did not advance any further as he was stranded on second base. First pitch into Rover, rolled over to Bobo. He flips to Perez at first. Perez showing some speed, getting off the hill, getting to the bag, and being able to tap it as Bobo in a 3-1 put out, bringing up the 3-hole hitter Trevor Werner, the left fielder. Perez, let's talk about his pitch selection. Fastball, curveball, slider, change. The first pitch to Werner, lifted in the air to right and out of play towards the parking lot.
Yeah, Brian Perez, he's from the Dominican Republic. He's been here in the United States for the last 9 years. And now still playing baseball here in the United States.
The 0-1 catches the knees for a strike. Werner does not like it. He lifted the bat over his head. He yanked on it. The bat, you can't take out your aggression on it. It's not animate. It's not an animate object. You're down 0-2. And cut on and miss. Strike 3. Brian Perez got him on the breaking ball. First strikeout of the game. He looks back at the batter. Werner looks back at him. Some jawing going on, but it's a 1-2-3 inning in the first inning of play for Brian Perez. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the bottom of the 7th we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Conejo Oaks lead 9-5 over the Crawdads. A pitching change on the hill for Walnut Creek. Jackson Hewlett checks in for Jace Root. Root, a very strong performance from him. 4 innings pitched, 0 earned runs on the day for him. Or excuse me, 2 earned runs. He gave up that home run to Bobo, but came in a jam, ended up getting out of it with very little damage done. Then a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th, allowed just 1 hit in the 5th, and in the 6th, allowed that big fly to Bobo, being the only damage to his resume on the day. 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Brendan Durfee steps into the box. First pitch cut on and skied down the left field line, out of play. The count is 0-1.
And, Root had a pretty good game. I mean, he pitched about 56 pitches on the afternoon.
The 0-1, grounded to first. The play made, the throw to first. Hewlett steps on the bag as Scavone was able to corral it. It ate him up a little bit, but the body made the stop, and Durfee is retired.
The catcher, Caden Suchi.
A pinch hitter for Anson arose. It's going to be number 43, Caden Suji, making his first appearance for the Oaks. The first pitch to Suji. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. 0-1. Suji, a right-handed hitter out of Austin, PA. The 0-1. Cut on, bounced high to shortstop. The play is made. Espinoza throws on to first.
It's Esparza.
Esparza, excuse me, to retire Suji. And that's going to bring up Grant Smith.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Esparza there. Able to be very, very smooth in that play, able to field it and throw it pretty quickly.
Quickly for Jackson Hewlett. He's induced 2 groundouts in very few pitches to start off this inning. Grant Smith looks at the first pitch low and away for a ball, 1-0.
Grant Smith finally got 2 hits today after being hitless yesterday.
The 1-0 to Smith misses outside, 2-0 the count.
Both hits have been singles for Smith. Yesterday it went 0 for 4.
But he does have a run. He went 0 for 3 yesterday with a hit by pitch, actually. So he did get a board, did get across the plate as the 2-0 gets in there for a strike. 2-1. Smith scored in the 3-run first inning that the Oaks put up against Ventura County to really start the scoring for them of the season, as Smith swings through a pitch, fouls it back into the screen. Count is now even at 2-2.
Scoreboard isn't working right now. Hasn't been working for the last couple of innings. Scoreboard does work by the score.
Fly ball by Smith, in on the infield. Rover collects it, makes the out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Jackson Hewlett. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. To the top of the 8th inning we go after 2 quick innings by Perez and Hewlett. The arm gets backhanded to Brian Perez on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Welcome to the top of the 8th inning. Brian Perez, after a 7-pitch inning, resulting in a strikeout of Trevor Werner, concluding in a strikeout of Trevor Werner, he faces off against Seth Dardar, the 4-hole hitter playing leadoff man in the top of the 8th. First pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, it was a impressive first inning of pitching for Brian Perez.
Perez fouls one, pulls it very far into his own dugout. It hit one of the coaches. All of the Crawdads going in, check in on him, make sure he's okay. He wore one. You always have to have your head on a swivel when you're on the baseball diamond, especially if you're in the dugout, especially the ones at Cal Lutheran. They don't have any bearings, any walls up in front, as this pitch misses. 2-1 the count. They don't have a wall. It's just an open dugout. There's one pole, or there's 2 poles in each dugout that provide safety, and that's about it. Other than that, always have to be watching as the 2-1 misses away. 3-1 the count.
Yeah, a lot of dugouts you will see a little bit of railing. I know some.
3-1 misses outside, and Seth Dardar going to take his base, walking over to first. He didn't think that was a ball. He stepped back into the box and then casually played it off. Threw his bat, shuffled a little bit, takes off his gear, takes off his guards, and throws him over to the first base coach. He winds up with a free bag.
Yeah, to continue with my thought, a lot of dugouts will have those either chain in front of them or will have a little bit of a railing to be there. But like you said, here today, just 2 poles.
First pitch into Goulart, misses outside for a ball, 1-0. 5 straight balls for Perez. 5 out of 6 pitches are balls for Perez, as Seth Dardar fouled off one of the pitches in the last at-bat. Perez throws over to first. Goulart back in safely.
A lot of those pitchers are throwing back to first when they get a runner on.
Perez gets it in there for a strike. Suji, the new catcher behind the dish. So, Arose, I believe, was the catcher last inning, unless Suji snuck in without my knowledge. This inning, a new man behind the dish, and in this iteration, in the CCL and for the Conejo Oaks, the catchers are the ones that are calling the pitches, where typically in college, you'll have the pitches called for you. The 1-1 misses for a ball. 2-1 the count. So with a Rose behind the dish, it was a 7-pitch inning that resulted in a strikeout with Suji, his first time behind the dish. A walk to start, and now a 2-1 count in with Goulart. Catches the outside part of the plate, a beautiful breaking ball. The slider from Perez caught the corner for a strike. The count is even at 2-2.
Great job by Perez to battle back, gets behind a little early, but now evens it out.
The 2-2, caught on and missed. Foul tip, Suji caught it, strikeout. 1 down in the inning for Perez, his second strikeout of the day. The first strikeout for Goulart on the day, the first time he hasn't reached base on the day. This will bring up Zach Tejero, the catcher. In his 3 at-bats, he's had 2 walks and a strikeout. Pickoff attempt. Back in safely is Dardar over at first. It's always nice to get a little dirt on the jerseys.
Now those jerseys have to be cleaned for some reason. I think getting dirt on it's a perfect excuse.
Perez, the 0-1. Did you really show up to the baseball diamond? Did you really play in the baseball game if you did not get dirty? We used to have an award back when I played baseball. Whoever's jersey was the dirtiest was the winner. We played for pride. 0-2. Second strike in there. Perez now ahead in the count to Tejero.
Did you ever win that award, Ryan?
I always won that award.
Always. Oh. That was your mission every game.
I'm a hustle player. What can I say? The 0-2. Swung on and fouled off of his foot and out of play. The 0-2 will be done over again to Tejero. Tejero's been able to battle throughout this game, drawing walks, one against Eric Ma in the 6th, one in the 4th against Aiden Garza, but he did go down on K's to Joseph Wiersman in the 2nd. So this is his 4th pitcher that he's seen. The 0-2, inside for a ball, 1-2.
First ball, like you said, but, 3 straight strikes to start the at-bat for Perez after getting that strikeout in the last at-bat.
The 1-2. A pickoff attempt back to first. Goulart had to dive in there safely. Dardar had to dive in there safely. That was actually a close play. It's the first one of the pickoffs that we've seen that has been a tight play at first, but Dardar able to get his hand in there. A slight breeze blowing out to right field as the 1-2 is cut on the left side of the field and out of play. 1-2 over again. Tejero continuing to stay alive in the count. Outfield positioning shifted a little bit right of center, a little bit pull side, but relatively straight up. The 1-2 catches the plate, down on strikes. Tejero talking to the umpire. The umpire shaking his head. No, it did not miss the zone. It's the 2nd consecutive strikeout for Brian Perez. Yes. Head back to the dugout. Brian Perez did just strike you out for the 2nd consecutive time in 2 batters. And that's going to bring up Tommy Scavone with a runner on first and 2 down in the inning. This pitch bounced. Suji does a great job of blocking it, not letting it go back to the screen. Dardar has been someone that Perez has been keeping a close eye on at first. If that ball gets past Suji, Dardar had to jump. He probably would have been at second base. A fantastic block from Caden Suji.
Seems like
the 1-0, grounded right back up the middle, off the glove of Perez. A diving play by Smith, throws to first. Bobo with the stretch, the put out. That is a 1-4-3 put out. Perez is out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base after what a diving web gem by Grant Smith. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky, joining you from George Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran University, where the Conejo Oaks hold a 9-5 lead over the Crawdads. Austin Carrillo leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch to Carrillo, in there for a strike. Jackson Hewlett, after a 1-2-3 inning in his first appearance on the bump, trying to continue his strong start. The 0-1, cut on and lifted down the right field line. Tracking is Dardar. near the pen, can't get there. The ball landed in play. Dardar thought that was going to land out of play. It was very close to the fence, but it just results in a strike. The count is 0-2, and now Carrillo has to battle back.
Yeah, that was a tough play. It was right near the wall. You know, if Dardar would have sent it his fullest, he would have ran all the way. He could have probably hit the wall by making that catch, but it was a tough play.
The 0-2, grounded just outside of the home plate bag. It's in play. Carrillo can't get there. The catcher makes the throw to first. Tahara with the putout, and one is retired for the Oaks.
The second baseman,
That's going to bring up JT Naviak.
Navia.
And Naviak, he hasn't been Brendan Bobo, but he's been pretty darn close. He has a double today. He reached base on a fielder's choice in the third, and the first pitch to him, lifted to center. Tracking in, making the catch is Hunt, so a quick fly out for Naviak. Hard contact off the bat, just in the wrong spot of the field.
Yeah, no, Naviak has been impressive. You know, Naviak goes to Cal State Fullerton just like Brendan Bobo, like you compared them to. Both of the Titans have been very impressive for the Oaks so far.
Andrew Sharp coming in as a pinch hitter for Hunter Call. Sharp, he started the game at catcher last game. He reached base in the first inning on a base on balls. And then 3 strikeouts and a flyout to close out his day. The first pitch to him, a ball outside. Count 1-0.
And this pitcher for Walnut Creek, as you...
The 1-0 outside, 2-0.
But this pitcher for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, that's number 23, Jackson Hewlett. He has a very unusual throwing motion. He keeps his left leg, his leg that he brings up, completely straight as he goes to bring it up.
The 2-0 catches the outside part of the plate for a strike, 2-1.
But he'll keep his leg as straight as possible, and then he'll bend his knee at the last second before turning his body to fire towards the plate.
The 2-1. Check swing. Called by the home plate umpire a strike, 2-2. The umpire didn't call it on the pitch. He called it on the swing. Didn't need to appeal to any umpire. There isn't a third base umpire, so there would be no one to appeal to. He's the one who makes the call. The 2-2. Rolled right back up the middle. Esparza fires to first. A 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks as they get sat down in order. The top of the ninth, the Oaks looking to close it out. A 4-run lead as Brian Perez is going to take the hill once again. You're listening to the Oaks live stream.
Now batting, number 18, Curran Ozawa Burns.
The top of the ninth inning, Brian Perez looking to close it out after 2 strong innings of play already. He's had 3 strikeouts, looking to not get the close, but looking to close it out for the Oaks as the first pitch. Elevated and swung on and missed by Curran. Ozawa Burns.
Perez, only 26 pitches so far.
The 0-1 to Burns, inside for a ball, 1-1.
Yes, first inning of action in the 7th inning. He gave up. He had no hits, nothing. 3 straight batters on 7 pitches. Last inning walked the first batter, but shut the last 3 down with 2 strikeouts in that period of time.
The 1-1. Caught on and drifted into left field. Headed back is Carrillo. It's over his head and drops. It's sharp in left field, actually. He throws it into second, but Ozawa Burns is in with a double. Starts off the 9th inning with some life for the Crawdads. A lead-off double for Ozawa Burns.
And that's the first hit given up by Perez. But Sharp, normally a catcher. We saw him catch a little bit yesterday. I think he played a little bit of left field towards the end of the game. I wasn't 100% positive. It
He
looked like
did play left field towards the end of the game.
So they put him back into left field. Can't get a good read on that ball. There hasn't been many balls hit to that left field. We've seen throughout the game the ball has been carrying towards right field with the wind. There's a slight breeze. You can see the flag in center field still waving, and it's headed towards that right field wall.
Perez now facing up against Sammy Esparza. Esparza so far today has struck out, flied out, and grounded out. First pitch cut on and missed. And Knight, Brian Perez, the pitcher in the circle. It's time for everyone's favorite segment. Guess that player's favorite food. You have 3 guesses.
I have 3 guesses.
You
All
have
right.
3 guesses.
Okay, I'm going to start with a simple one, grilled cheese.
It's not grilled cheese as the 0-1 is lifted into center, lifted into left in front of Sharp. Holding at third is Ozawa Burns, a single for Esparza, and the lineup is turned over. The tying run on deck now for the Crawdads. Runners on the corners. It is not grilled cheese.
It is not grilled cheese.
It is a little more exotic than that as well.
Oh my gosh, this is like yesterday.
Yesterday it was more exotic?
You said exotic was sushi. Can I at least get a clue this time?
It has to do, it's healthy.
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
Let's see.
Sam Hunt, the batter in the box. First pitch to him, grounded to third. Smith throws to first, throws to second, fielder's choice, double play. The turn is made. Grant Smith now playing over at third base, ended up getting a double play. Sam Hunt rolled over. That is a 5 to, I believe that was Naviak who actually was on the bag and made the turn. So a 5-6-3 double play. You're running out of time here, Knight. You got to guess that player's favorite food.
Yeah, okay, is it a grape?
It's not a grape.
Oh, gosh.
You can get it, I would say it's in the smoothie family.
Smoothie family? Oh, gosh, I don't know.
The 0-1,
A
high for a ball.
Like, I don't know, protein shake?
Hayden shot the pinch hitter into the game. It is not a protein shake. It is actually a bonsai bowl.
I don't even know what a bonsai bowl is.
The 0-1, grounded to second. Diving play made. Throws to first. It's in time. The game is over. The Oaks win the game. Reagan Burford with a diving play to end it. And what a great way to end the game. Burford lays out on his belly and ends up throwing on to first to get the out with 2 runners on and no one down. A double play and then a web gem to end the game for the Oaks. They win 9-5. Knight, to answer your question, a bonsai bowl. It is where you blend fruit, put it in the bowl. On top you'll have granola, some other fruit on top, some strawberries, bananas. You know, it's very versatile. So to answer your question, that is Brian Perez's favorite food.
Appreciate that, but wow, Reagan Burford, wow, what a play at second base. We saw him yesterday at third base, and today towards the end of the game, they put him at second base. Just makes a phenomenal diving play. I didn't know the umpire was going to call him out. I thought it was going to be a safe call at first. But, wow, what a play to end the game. I mean, this is the ending you'd want if you're the Conejo Oaks. I mean, you just won 9-5. And you'd think, oh, the offense was really impressive. But towards the end of the game, that diving play in the 8th inning by the second baseman. And now here's Burford to end the game after a double play. The defense steps up big to win this game for the Oaks.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any doubt on who the MVP is. MVP is none other than Brendan Bobo. Home run in the first to start the scoring off, a solo shot there, and then a 2-run shot in the 5th. Not to mention, he started off the 3rd inning, which is with a single. That 3rd inning, a 4-run inning. He ended up coming all the way around to score. Brendan Bobo is my MVP. I don't think there should be debate about that.
Yeah, no, Brendan Bobo definitely offensive MVP. I'd also like to say that Brian Perez coming into the game out of the bullpen in the 7th inning. He had 3 shutout innings to close this game, and he was very impressive from a pitcher standpoint. But like you said, Brendan Bobo, the 2 home runs, the monstrous towering home run that put the Oaks back up by 4 runs in the 6th inning was really what stood out to me as well, and he is probably the MVP.
All right. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll do it over again. The Crawdads going to play against the Oaks. This one is going to be at 1 p.m. We will see you tomorrow as the Oaks start off the season 2-0. This has been Ryan Milano and Knight Uretsky. We'll see you tomorrow.